Hello and welcome to St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is online lecture series. I am Rohit Raj from Civil Engineering Department. We are discussing sewage and treatment, and this is seventh lecture in this series. Today we'll start wastewater quality parameters. Before that, we'll study different characteristics. Okay, so we already studied what is sewage and what is sewage. Okay, basically sewage contains organic and inorganic matter, some gases and living organism. That's why there is requirement of what we have studied in our second previous unit, that is trap, to cut the connection of foul gases. Okay, so sewage contains organic and inorganic matters. Okay, mainly microorganisms. The organic and inorganic matters may be dissolved, suspended, or colloidal state. Okay. The inorganic matter consists of ash, cinder, sand grit, mud, and other mineral salts. Okay. The organic matter may be nitrogenous or nitrogen free. Okay. The gases include methane, hydrogen, okay, methane, hydrogen sulfide, H2S, carbon dioxide. Generally, these three, methane, H2S, and CO2, are present in sewage. Okay, at sewage contains only 1% of small percent of solids, while remaining 99.9% is water. Okay, now decomposition of sewage. Most of the organic matter present in sewage is unstable and decomposes readily through chemical as well as biological processes. Okay, so most of the waste decompose easily, either chemically or biological processes. Okay, the organic matter which can be decomposed by bacteria under biological actions is called as biodegradable organic matter. Okay, the matters that can be decomposed by bacteria, okay, that are biodegradable organics. Okay, most of the organic matter present in sewage is biodegradable and hence undergo biological decomposition. And most of the organic matters in sewage are biodegradable. That means they can be decomposed by bacteria. Now, this process can be divided into aerobic and anaerobic decomposition. Okay, we all are aware of these terms. What is aerobic and what is anaerobic? Basically, when this decomposition occur in the presence of oxygen, this is aerobic, and when this decomposition happens in absence of oxygen, that is anaerobic. We'll see both of them. Okay, anaerobic decomposition is also called as putrefaction, and aerobic is aerobic oxidation. Okay, we are well aware of term oxidation and reduction also. Okay, now we'll see aerobic decomposition. Okay, is caused by both aerobic bacteria as well as facultative bacteria operating anaerobically. Now here a new word, that is facultative bacteria. Basically these bacteria are uh, uh, capable of surviving in both environment. That is, they can survive in aerobic conditions or they can survive in anaerobic conditions also. That is, they can survive with or without presence of oxygen. Okay, so these are called the facultative bacteria that can survive in both condition. Okay, So the Arabic decomposition can be caused by Arabic bacteria or facultative bacteria that can survive in both conditions. Okay, in presence of air or oxygen, which is available in the water, wastewater, that is in dissolved form. Okay, they consume their required oxygen from the wastewater itself. Okay, which they're gonna decompose. Okay, and the organic materials, organic impurities that are present in wastewater, they consume oxygen from that very wastewater to decompose the organic matter. Okay, these bacteria will then utilize the free oxygen as electron acceptor, thereby oxidizing the organic matter to stable and unobjectionable end product. Now, they will oxidize the organic matter to stable. Yes, the main reason for any reaction, that is chemical or physical change. Okay, generally we don't use this term in physical changes, but they also, the most important thing why the reaction occurs is to get stability. Okay, so what these bacteria will do, they will oxidize the organic matter to a stable and unobjectionable end products. And what would the, and this term unobjectionable resemble here, this will simply identify whether it is harmful to human or animal or aquatic life or not. Okay, whether it is harmful, then it is objectionable. If not, then it is unobjectionable. So bacteria will oxidize the organic matter to stable and unobjectionable end products. These stable end products like nitrates, carbon dioxide, sulfates are formed respectively for the three forms of matter. Okay, means there are the products like nitrates, carbon dioxide, sulfates, they are formed for the three forms of matter, that is nitrogenous, carbonaceous or sulfurous matter. Okay, basically all of the compounds will include either nitrogen or carbon components or sulfur. Okay, this resembles that the end products will have nitrogen, carbon or sulfurous. As we all know that organic compound itself resembles that they must contain either carbon or sulfur. Okay, nitrogen, these all are the components of organic compounds itself. So the end products will also be uh, including, will include these. Okay, water, heat and additional bacteria will also be produced in the biological oxidation. Yes, of course, the heat during any reaction, either the reaction is endothermic or exothermic, which resembles that either the reaction will take heat to react or it will release heat after the reaction. Okay, that is exothermic. Okay, so in this process also the conversion of organic matters into stable and unobjectionable end products, heat is released in this very process and additional bacteria will also be produced. Okay, and there is multiplication, you can say, of bacteria. Now the equation can be represented by the following. Okay, this is our waste. Okay, these are the components. Okay, which include carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and sulfur. Sorry, they include carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and sulfur. The wastewater contain them. Okay, now bacteria will start decomposing in the presence of oxygen because this process is aerobic decomposition. So this will lead to CO2, H2O, bacteria and apart from all them, energy. Okay, this is the reaction where organic compound plus bacteria plus O2, because this process is aerobic, will release CO2, H2O, and again bacteria plus energy. The intermediate products formed in the aerobic oxidation of the three types of organic matter can be known by studying nitrogen, carbon, and sulfur cycles. Okay, for knowing, or if we are concerned about the intermediate products of these reaction, then we need to know the nitrogen, carbon, or sulfur cycles, how they are converted. Okay, what are the different cycles of these? So we are not concerned about that right now, but will you can see or you can check the nitrogen, carbon, or sulfur cycles. Okay, this is the uh, example how they get converted. Waste plus microorganisms goes plus oxygen also, because this is aerobic reaction. Then they get respirated or synthesized, and during respirations they get NH3, PO3 end products. Okay, synthesized get to microorganisms. Respiration also they get to microorganisms. This is how they are linked. Okay. Now second type is anaerobic decomposition. Okay. If free dissolved oxygen is not available to the sewage, then anaerobic decomposition called putrefaction. Okay, putrefaction will occur. That is, if the required oxygen supply is not available there, okay, if the oxygen is not present, then the reaction that will decompose the organic matters will be anaerobic. Anaerobic bacteria and facultative bacteria operating anaerobically. Yes, of course, facultative bacteria will be causing both aerobic and anaerobic. Okay, apart from facultative, there will be anaerobic bacteria that will cause anaerobic decomposition. Will then flourish and convert complex matter into simpler organic compounds of nitrogen, carbon, and sulfur. Okay, what they will do? They will convert organic matters into simpler organic compounds of nitrogen, carbon, and sulfur. These anaerobic bacteria survive by extracting and consuming like nitrate and sulfates. Okay, how they survive? They survive with the consumption of nitrates and sulfates. Okay, and we all know and we all are aware that all the organic fats have huge proportion of nitrates and sulfates. Now, this is important. Okay, gases like ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, methane are evolved in this decomposition, producing obnoxious odor. Okay, what is this? This is bad. Okay, bad odor means there is stinking and smell is not pleasant. Okay, during these reactions. Why? Because there is formation of hydrogen sulfide, methane, or ammonia. Okay, so this will create bad odor. Okay, or obnoxious. So we have seen what is aerobic and what is anaerobic decomposition. We are well aware of facultative bacteria that survives in both aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Now we also know that during anaerobic decomposition, gases like ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and methane are produced. Now this resembles the anaerobic decomposition. There are four steps basically, that is hydrolysis, acetogenesis, and then methanogenesis. You have to remember this in this very order, that is hydrolysis, acidogenesis, acetogenesis, and then methanogenesis. Genesis basically resembles production. Okay, and the hydrolysis, you all are aware of that. Okay, so these resembles first hydrolysis, then acid generation, then acetone, and finally methane production. Here you can see particulate organic substrate, protein, carbohydrates, and fat, they get hydrolyzed into amino acids, sugars, or fatty acids. This is acidogenesis. Okay, acidogenesis. After that, they will generate acetic acids. Okay, that is acetogenesis, and finally, they release methane. That is methanogenesis. You just keep this sequence in mind: hydrolysis, acidogenesis, acetogenesis, and methanogenesis. Okay, you have to remember these in this very sequence: hydrolysis, acidogenesis, acetogenesis, and methanogenesis. You can also remember hydrolysis, fermentation, acetogenesis, or methanogenesis, but I will say remember acetogenesis. Okay, now fats, fat decompose organisms, soluble compounds. Okay, cellulose, they also decomposing organisms, decompose them into soluble compounds, and protein also gets decomposed by decomposing organisms into soluble compounds. Then what? Acidic bacteria convert them into organic acid, then methogenetic bacteria convert them into methane, carbon dioxide, and water. This is the three-stage anaerobic decomposition. Okay, first fat, cellulose, and proteins are converted into soluble compounds. Then acidic bacteria convert them into organic acids, and then methogenetic bacteria convert them into methane, carbon dioxide, and water. So that's all for the different types of decomposition process. Okay. Now let's begin with characteristic of seaways. Okay, what are the different uh, features of seaways or wastewater? There are basically they can be divided into three categories, that is physical, chemical, and third one is biological. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Physical characteristics are first color, odor, okay, temperature, turbidity, okay. Then chemical characteristics are like suspended solid, dissolved solids, colloidal and subtle solids, okay. Organic matter, carbohydrates, fats, nitrogen compound, okay. pH, nitrogen compounds includes four types, okay, we'll see all of them. Methyl, then chloride contents, and then fats, oil or greases, okay. Now toxic materials, okay, toxic wastes, sulfides, then dissolved oxygen, okay. Now BOD, COD, we'll see them, okay. We have BOD test also. Now biological characteristic includes standard 5-day BOD, okay. So this is about the biological, that standard 5-day BOD, COD will define in biological characteristics. So we'll start with physical characteristics. Basically physical characteristics includes color, okay. Physical characters mean the characteristics, that is physical properties basically, okay. The first point is color. The color of the sewage indicates the freshness of sewage. Yes, of course. And why do we need a fresh sewage? That you will study in coming lectures. Okay, that what is difference between a fresh and uh, delayed or blackish sewage. Okay, the color of sewage indicates the freshness. Yes, of course. If it is, if the color is yellowish brown or yellowish, it indicates fresh sewage. Okay, so how will you classify them? You will classify with their colors. If it is grayish brown or yellowish, then it indicates a fresh sewage. With the passage of time, as putrefaction, that is anaerobic decomposition starts, it begins to get black. The color or shale of septic sewage is black when all the oxygen has disappeared from the sewage and it becomes septic. Other colors may also be formed due to the presence of specific industrial waste. The color of sewage can normally be detected with naked eye. Okay. Generally, we detect the color of sewage with our naked eye, and if the color is grayish brown, then the sewage is fresh. Okay, means uh, the time of its discharge is not too early. Okay, it is fresh, means discharge soon. And if it is black, then it resembles stale and septic sewage, that is it has been stored for very high time duration. Okay, so that changes its color black. And why does this happen? Basically, the color change is only due to the presence of oxygen in them. This color change. Okay, there may be some different colors of the sea waste due to the waste in them. That is sometimes in industrial waste. Okay, changes the color. The industrial waste materials particles changes the color. But if no colorful waste or no colored waste is there, then its color should be grayish brown or yellowish for fresh, and if it is black, then it is stale or septic sewage. Okay, now why this happen? Why does this happen is uh, the presence of oxygen leads the color of sewage as grayish or yellowish, but slowly the oxygen gets consumed and the water's color is start changing to dark. Okay, and they'll finally convert into black color. Okay, and this black color resembles that there is no oxygen present in that water or that sewage. Okay, so just keep this in mind that for fresh sewage, grayish brown or yellowish, and when the sewage water is stale or septic, that is black in color, resembles that there is no oxygen present. Okay, you might have seen somewhere black sewage. Okay, second is order. A fresh odor of a fresh sewage is not offensive. Generally, when the sewage or wastewater is discharged from our houses, they don't have a bad odor. Okay, but uh, in due course of time, it starts stinking and creating bad odor. Okay, as it start to get stale, it start to get uh, uh, decomposed by bacteria that lead to gases like H2S, methane, or ammonia. Within 3 to 4 hours, all oxygen present in the sewage get exhausted and it starts emitting offensive odor by hydrogen sulfide gas, which is formed due to anaerobic decomposition of sewage. Okay, so within 3 to 4 hours, all the oxygen present in the sewage get exhausted. Means they are consumed by the bacteria for the decomposition, and they start offensive orders. Means they start bad order. Okay, as H2S gas is liberated. Generally, bad smell or bad odor is only due to the H2S at major proportion. Okay, this one shows the color. Okay, color of fresh sewage, and this one is showing dark sewage. Now, physical characteristics. Second point is, first we have studied color, then order. Third point is temperature. Temperature has an effect on biological activity of bacteria present in the sewage, and it also affects the solubility of gases in sewage. Okay, so temperature has a very large effect. We all know that with the help of sunlight only, the organisms in the water survive, as they need sunlight for their food generation, that is photosynthesis. Okay, so temperature is always an important factor that affects the bacteria present in there. Okay, also they affect the solubility of gases in the sewage. Okay, it is also it also affects the viscosity of sewage. More is the temperature, lesser is the viscosity of sewage. Okay, means what are the factors that get affected? First is presence of bacteria gets affected with the temperature. Second, viscosity. Higher the temperature, lesser the viscosity for gases. Okay, for liquid, that is sewage is a liquid. But if you will consider viscosity for gases, okay, then we need not to worry about that. But here you have to keep this in mind that higher the temperature, lesser the viscosity of sewage. So second thing that is affected by temperature. And third one is solubility. Okay, solubility gets affected by temperature, and all we all know that how it will affect. Yes, of course, higher the temperature, greater will be the solubility. Why? This you might have studied in your physical and chemical properties of matter, that is mentioned in your standard 9th class NCERT book, that for solubility, higher temperature is preferable, because solubility is higher for high temperature because the particles start moving faster and therefore easily soluble. So temperature affects solubility, activity of bacteria, and viscosity. And viscosity is inversely proportional. More the temperature, less the viscosity. Normal temperature of sewage is slightly higher than temperature of water supply because of the additional heat due to utilization of water. Also, when the wastewater flows in a closed pipe, its temperature further increases. Okay. Generally, the temperature of wastewater is slightly higher than normal temperature, as when they get used, their temperature rises. And again, when they are carried through closed pipes, the temperature also again rises. Okay, the average temperature of sewage in India is taken as 20 degrees Celsius, which is near about the ideal temperature of sewage for biological activities. And yes, of course, for biological activities, that is decomposition of these impurities, organic impurities by bacteria, this temperature is ideal. At higher temperature coupled with lower dissolved oxygen, activities can cause serious problem. Okay, if the temperature is higher and lower dissolved oxygen, the wastewater decomposition will be difficult. Okay, so this is about the third physical characteristic, that is temperature. Will continue with turbidity and other chemical properties. Okay, so till then, thank you for listening. Feel free to ask any doubt. You can contact on this number that is here, and you can just mail using this mail ID. Thank you.